Let me tell you about the time. What time? I got locked up in Kings Island. Guilty. It was at that moment. Freeze. Don't nobody move. Me and 3 of my other buddies, we all juveniles at the time. And we decided to steal a car and go to Kings Island. Got on the highway, and one of my buddies that was driving began to race another car. And what do you know? Pull it over, buddy. Would you believe since it was a Z28, they never even realized the vehicle was stolen because the dashboard sits so low in the vehicle? They actually let us go, but since we didn't have no driver's license, they dropped us off at the nearest exit and told us we would have to get a lift back to our city ourselves. Instead of going home, check it out what we did. Seen the car lot, and guess what? One of them had the keys in it, a Mustang. Instead of going home, we went to Kings Island, booked the rides, and had a great time. As we got back to the car and put our hands on that door, it was at that moment, freeze! Don't move a muscle. And that's how I got locked up at Kings Island. Car theft and grand theft auto as a juvenile. Once they slapped the cuffs on us into the security maybe holding area of Kings Island, shortly after that, it's like they transported us to 2020 with some type of juvenile in Dayton, Ohio. And I remember what made it so interesting about this facility at the time, a nice portion of the juveniles there had golds in their mouth at the time. But at the moment seemed like made them a lot faster than the city I was in. What I mean by that is, you ever heard that saying, that city is faster? Like, for example, Chicago, they say it's a lot faster than other cities. So what they done was, since it was 4 of us, they put everybody in a cell, right? But they messed around and put one of me and my buddies, that my co-defendants, in the same cell together, right? So what made that interesting was, before they found out we was co-defendants and took us out of the room together, we was plotting on escaping. Yeah, wouldn't that have been wild? Another thing that made this facility interesting was the males and the females would actually sit in the TV room together. Now, they cells wasn't together in there, but when it was TV time or anything like that, they actually sat in the same room. But the thing about it, it was no talking. It was the first juvenile facility that I actually seen somebody scrubbing the floor with like a toothbrush object to get the grime and dirt out the cracks. You see what I'm saying? So, this juvenile right here, and on top of that, I mean, it was, it was a wild facility. Keep in mind, right, that we out of town too, right? So, it ain't like you in a city where your parents can just, pop up that same day and visit you. You way out of town, you know what I'm saying? We way up here in, Dayton, Ohio, you know what I'm saying? And we looking at, car theft, which was the first vehicle that we stole, which was at Z28. That was the car theft, and the other one was the grand theft auto from when we got the 5.0 out of town. So that's a car theft and that's a grand theft auto case. Now, what's so interesting about when we first got the Z28, that's how we end up making it to Kings Island, because it was a wallet found in the Z28. And we used them funds to go to You hear what I was about to say? We used them funds to go to juvenile. Basically, we did. I mean, my bad. We used them funds to go to Kings Island and end up in juvenile from the results. You know what I'm saying? Kids, if you're listening, learn from my mistakes and don't go that route. But anyway, we sitting up in 2020, right? Juvenile in Dayton, Ohio, and grand theft auto and car theft. They trying to waive us to the county, right? For we can deal with this as on an adult record. So I'm looking like, you got to be kidding me. So as time went along, I think it was finally that court date. And once that court date came, I think my moms had actually caught a ride with one of my co-defendants' moms, and I think she was able to actually come to court. And I know both our moms at the time had to be looking like, what really going on? Here we is way down in Dayton, Ohio, juvenile, 2020, locked up for grand theft auto and car theft. Locked up from Kings Island, right? You know, I can't make this up. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what it was, but I think the judge from our city had put in some type of word for us, right? And was like, you know what? Just release them back, bring them back here. We're gonna expedite them back to the city, and I deal with them. So I think we must have came back. I don't know if it was a bus or I can't remember exactly how they got us back, but I definitely know we didn't ride back with our parents. So they expedited us back to the juvenile, right, in our city. So we sitting in there waiting to go to court. It seemed like we was waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally, when it came down to it, because I'm thinking, hey, we might be going up the road for this. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by up the road is juvenile prison, right? They call it boys' school around this way. You know what I'm saying? So, just so happened we went to court, right? I looked up, I knew we was gone. I just knew, I'm like, you know, I might as well go ahead and get prepared. You know what I'm saying? We going to juvenile prison. And this so happened, they let us out on house arrest. I couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? They let us out on house arrest and probably sitting there another 2 hours, 3 hours, something like that, till they processed us. Parents picked me. I mean, my think my mama might have picked me up from juvenile once they released, and I was back at the crib on house arrest. You know, I remember it like it was yesterday. Back at the crib, right, on house arrest, and I'm looking out the back window. I think I'm 16 at the time. I got a Delta 88, rims on it with the music, and you know, I couldn't even drive it nowhere. You know, I'm stuck in on house arrest. So I'm looking like, man, here I got this car at a young age, you know what I'm saying? Most people I know didn't have a car at that young age like I did. So I'm sitting up like, man, I can't even drive my vehicle. I'm on house arrest. I got this music. I got these rims on it. My buddy hooked me up with the rims, so I ain't sitting up like I had this gang of money to be buying rims and stuff like that. Nah, one of my buddies hooked me up with the rims. He hooked me up with the half leather top I had on there. Hooked me up with the music. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.